Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to All Things Nerdy with Nate and Joe. I'm Nate. That's Joe.
Yep.
What up? Today, we're going to continue the conversation of fantasy football where we know nothing but give advice to people who wish we did. So we will continue that trend and talk about fantasy football, who we've picked up, what our season looks like. We'll take comments, talk about all that stuff. We're going to kind of do this for a little bit till we get into, I guess the end of fantasy football, or people just show that they're tired of it and everything like that. But until the end, we're off. Joe?
Yep, might as well, talk through our seasons and stuff like that, give those advice. And we make our decisions that what people ask us, like, based on numbers and, like, facts and, like, some gut feel, right?
A lot of gut.
Yeah, we've both been playing fantasy football. I wouldn't say we're professionals, but we've done it for a long time, right? Maybe not super successfully.
I used to be much, much better than what I am now. Now I just don't keep up with as much. Although this podcast has really got me like diving into it. Both of my teams have been doing fairly well.
Well, without further ado, let's talk nerdy. And I guess let's start with you. Like you said, both your teams doing very well. Did you win both your games with your leagues last week?
I did. So in the league that we run together, Joe, our team put up 149 points, PPR, but our team absolutely went ham. Honestly, if we could get better production out of our receivers on a consistent basis, we would have a fairly stacked team. Our receivers are our weakest link. And honestly, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. that is killing us right now. Like, he is so up and down, left and right. Like, we just need consistent production from this dude. If we could get it, it would be easy. We would be crushing our league. And our flex is not great, but like, we have some options going forward. Like, we just picked up Michael Thomas, or Michael Pittman Jr. Sorry, not Thomas, Michael Pittman. And having Joe Flacco as the starter, dude's going to get a lot more love, going to get a lot more accurate throws and things like that.
Yeah, Bateman, I think, was our flex, and like he's definitely about like the other wide receiver, talking about like up and down. Like 1 week he'll score 20, the next week he'll score 2, that kind of thing. But we got a few comments. Steven says the new rage is guillotine leagues. What is that?
No idea.
We'll have.
I guess if you lose, you're out. If you lose, you die. You're gone.
I don't know. That's what it sounds like, but I'm going to Google it really quick. And then he also said, "Love how Nate is asking like he has control over his team."
I do have control over my team.
Yeah, it's 50-50 ownership. We run stuff by each other.
And I send strongly worded emails to the teams every week if I need more production. Like, I'm emailing the Cardinals like, hey, what can we do to get Marvin Harrison Jr. more involved? Like, here's some recommended plays from College Football 25 that really works for me that I think y'all could implement to get this man the ball.
Exactly. Strategies. Brian Barr said zombie leagues are awesome too. What is
I feel like y'all are just fucking with us.
Yeah,
now.
you're just throwing stuff out. You're just these aren't real things. I'm gonna Google
also, what's up, BB? I hope you're doing good, buddy.
Let's see. Steven says 18-team league, low score team each week gets cut, and their entire roster goes to the waivers. So that's 18-team league. Like, your team is gonna be garbage.
But all you gotta do is survive 1 week, and then your team gets a little bit better, right? And then you survive another week, your team gets a little bit better. That's kind of cool. I kind of like it. What is the standard buy-in for something like that? Also, vampire leagues. Y'all fucking with us. Get out of here.
It's just been Halloween. Y'all are just throwing stuff out there just to mess with us. The next thing, there's going to be ghost leagues, just, where no one shows up after the draft. Something
that is
like
a real thing. That happens a lot.
Yeah, that's absolutely real. But what about your other team? Did it do well?
Yeah. So I was the second highest scoring team in the league. Again, I got beat out by like 10 points or something like that. But we're doing really well, and this week is shaping up to be a good week too. Garrett Wilson gave me 30, which is fucking nice. And then Joe Mixon gave me 16.6. So just from 2 people, we're already at 46.6. Expecting like that. I mean, we're right there. For the week, we are expected 142. So not bad.
Steven says actually Ghost League's a real look. You know what? I'm Googling some of this as we're talking, and I just found the rules for a zombie league, and then it mentions like it's very similar to a vampire and a guillotine league. So maybe you guys are not messing with this. It just seems far fetched.
These are real. These are real things.
These are real things. I'm looking at it now. Brian says one team only picks from the waiver wire to start the league. If you win, you get to pick a player off the team you beat.
Dude, that's kind of cool too. I can get behind all this. So the reason I've kind of fallen out of fantasy is like I just don't find sports as enjoyable as I used to. But also like something like this sounds fun. It's like a little wrinkle that would make it much more exciting. Think about like if you lost by like 1 point and they took your best player. Ooh, the mean things I would say to you.
Yep. You know, see, my luck goes like I'd win, I'd choose Christian McCaffrey, and then you go down on the IR, and I'd be like, well, that was pointless.
Well, then you're not winning the next week, Joe, which means somebody's taking your best player. And at that point, it's snowball. Injuries would really suck in that league.
It really would. Which I guess can bring me to how my team did last week. The one I thought for sure I was going to win, I ended up losing by 2 points. And the causes of that was one, Diggs went down mid-game with an injury. Could have got a lot more out of him. So now he's gone for the season. And then I started Russell Wilson, and he fumbled the ball. And that fumble cost me the game because I lost by less than 2 points. So I was pretty upset about that. I was like, thanks, Wilson.
But overall, how did Wilson do in comparison to your other quarterbacks?
Let me see here. Let me pull it up.
Because Wilson was my guess for you, Joe.
Yeah. Well, Wilson was the guess. He did lose me the game, but points-wise, let me go back to the week 8. He scored 4 more points than Caleb Williams, which I also started, but he actually scored less than Gardner Minshew. So if I would have started Gardner Minshew, I would have won. Which is kind of sad. Because although Gardner Minshew fumbled as well, but either way, he scored more than Russell Wilson by 2 points.
Okay, well that's interchangeable. Whatever.
Hey, and then my other league, I just started off strong and then just didn't do. Let me pull it back up really quick. Let's see here. Ended up losing. I scored over 100 points in a non-PPR league, which is,
standard league, 100 points, solid.
Yeah, scored 107, but the person I was against happened to score 119. But CJ Stroud could have did a little better, right? He only scored 12, pretty low for a quarterback that rushes. And then I started Devontae Adams, and he just didn't do too well. Same with Moore. Just my receivers could have did better, but. I can't be too mad. I got 18 from my tight end, 20 from a chain, and 13 from Harris. Kareem Hunt also scored 13, something like that.
Yeah. That's serviceable. 100 points. You can't be mad about that.
In a standard league, non-PPR. So, not too.
Well, it's crazy. So I have that bad luck, right? Like where a lot of times I will be like the second highest scorer of the league and lose the first highest scorer. Like in my one league, I am the second or third. Let me look. I'm the second or third highest scorer in the whole league, and I have a losing record. Yeah. Ridiculous.
I'm looking at mine now. I have the second highest points scored against me. So most people just have their really good game against me. This is what it is.
Wow.
But we got a couple more comments. Let's see. Steven says, in his guillotine league for the first 5 weeks, people got cut by under a point. One guy lost by 0.15.
That hurts. That hurts. And that's gotta like burn so much being in like guillotine league or whatever. Knowing you're out, knowing you're cut, right? By 0.15. Bro. I'm like fighting that. I'm asking for recounts. I want stats to be ran back. I want to make sure everybody scored everything. Yeah. I'm not just like sunsetting on that one.
Yeah, no. And my question is like, what happens to like? How do you just team out of the league?
You gotta lean closer, Joe. It's like a.
I was like, what happens like after that team gets cut? Like when they drop their player to waivers, like do you cut them out of the league completely so they don't play another team? Like, how does that work? Or do you just have to have a dead team and whoever plays them basically has a bye week? That would be my question.
My guess is like if it's a specific setup for the league, then you would remove them and their team would go straight in. Like maybe you just remove their team, but they stay as active users in the league so they can keep up and see what people are doing and the points and things like that.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense. Devontae killed it. He did. I looked. He scored me 15 points in a non-PPR league last week or last night, I guess. So definitely not mad about that. 7 receptions for 91 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, in PPR leagues, people are very happy with that, with 7 extra points added on there.
100%.
We got Brian says, not sure if you'd want to have a Titan on your team, but Nick Westbrook kind took D-Hop's place in the lineup.
Let's go look. So he's available. He's position ranked 100. He's only projected 6.5. Here's the problem with the Titans. A, they suck. B, they're really bad at passing, right? So whether he took D-Hop's spot or not, like if D-Hop wasn't productive there, this dude isn't going to be productive there. I don't think I'm going to take a Titan. However, caveat to that, our team that has just no help whatsoever, like I'm willing to take those long shots because like our bench right now our bench projected right now 20 points. That's with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 bench slots projected at 20 points. So like we are starter heavy and we have no helps. You know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Might as well. I would say. Let's see. Steven says that he was replying to my question about the like what happens to the team, but yeah, they're done. Cut. Goodbye. And there's a site designed specifically for guillotine leagues. I'm just dominating the chat. Hey, it's you and Brian. You and Brian are. But yeah, Devontae did have a TD, or I guess he's talking about Nick Westbrook. He had a touchdown last week, so that's something.
I mean, we're gonna go at him right now. He's still out there.
Steven says Joe might be a better quarterback than Will Levis. You know what? I probably could. You know, I can go out there. I can sling it down the field for a little bit.
You know, I don't really understand the Levis thing. Like coming out of college, I didn't think he was the most accurate quarterback, but he has a lot of the intangibles, right? Dude's decent size, can move, hell of an arm, puts mayonnaise in his coffee. That's weird as fuck. Yeah. But I really thought he was going to be decent, right? I thought he was going to be a serviceable quarterback for some years. Was he ever going to be Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, any of that? No. But I thought he'd be able to help him win games. I will say I don't think he helped himself by doing some of the stupid meme things. And it's not his fault like it caught fire like it did. But that's going to fuck with your confidence. Also, people at the Titans see that. The teammates see that. You kind of become a running joke. It's hard to recover from that stuff.
Yeah. And I don't know. I guess he's kind of like Ryan Tannehill 2.0 at this point for the Titans.
Tannehill and them won. Now, granted, Tannehill just had to give the ball to Derrick Henry, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, as a quarterback, what did Tannehill do? Like, he handed the ball off to Derrick Henry. Like, they still were not a passing team. Like,
yeah, but they have –
now they don't have Derrick Henry.
Yeah, but also they had a great offensive line, a decent defense and stuff like that. Now they don't really have anything. And they went from Derrick Henry to fucking Tony Pollard. And where Tony Pollard is okay, right?
He's not Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and you look at the production that Henry's putting up. Now, granted, he has an MVP quarterback. He has Zay Flowers. He has Mark Andrews. Like, it's hard to just stack the box, although the Ravens are still not a very good passing team. They just went out and got Deontay Johnson and all that stuff. But, like, it's still – to go from Henry – and – part of me thinks, A, they didn't want to pay Henry. B, like they wanted to give Henry a chance to go somewhere else. But it's just painful to watch.
Yeah, we got Steven says, bro, when was the last good quarterback to come out of Kentucky?
I'm trying to think.
I have no idea.
The big dude that passed away. I just remember him. I can't remember his name now, but I guess he wasn't pro level, but he was fun to watch.
And yeah, other than Will Levis,
that's right. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
I'm pulling up the other comments real quick. Brian says Titans need to tank for Arch Manning next year. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of Arch Manning. I don't know if he's good.
The kid's going to be a stud. He's going to be good at all levels.
Chief said, bro, what are you talking about? The Ravens are arguably the best offense in the NFL. I mean, probably.
Yeah, but what I wasn't hating on their offense as a whole, right? Like if you look at their offense, they're consistent for the reasons that I said. They can't stack the box. But also you have Zay Flowers. Like you have a lot of weapons. You have an MVP quarterback. I didn't say their offense was terrible.
Yeah, he just said they
drop some passes. They lose games that they shouldn't. They, like it is not like I don't know what you want me to say.
Bryce is the hefty lefty Jared Lorenzen.
That's who I was talking about. Let's go, BB. Yep. 2 months, baby. 2 months.
Stephen Evans says that answer is never. Tim Couch was a number 1 to the Browns and was a Brown dude.
He was bad. We don't have to address that. He was real bad. Yep.
Yeah. Cody Landry says Clemson sucks. Hope we'll have a good cast.
Yeah, he just lost in the dynasty to Clemson. So and they're stacked, son. They're tough. That sucks.
Oh, Chris Evers says Couch. I guess someone wants to talk about it. But then Brian says, stop Googling and listen to Brian. The Pillsbury throw boy shouldn't even need to be Googled.
Dude, I feel bad because the guy's passed by now, but man, he's a legend. Like he will be talked about for decades and decades, not even just from a production standpoint, but the fact that someone looked at him and said, you know what? Instead of a left tackle, we're going to put you at QB, baby. Get out there and just sling it. And he did. He got out there and he just slung it everywhere, right? You get a ball. He's fucking Oprah Winfrey out there. It was crazy.
Yeah, he was Oprah Winfrey. That's pretty funny. Well, let's see. Stephen Evans says 4th in the league in passing equals bad at passing. But yeah, we aren't talking about Bateman getting hit in the face by the ball. Look, that's they could be better. 4th in the league is not first, okay, Stephen? Like, what do you want us to say? We didn't say they were a bad team, okay? We just said they could do better with what they have, okay? Chill out.
Also, Henry leads the league in rushing. I also think he leads the league in, like, rushing touchdowns. They don't have to consistent.
And I'm pretty sure Lamar is, like, top 5 in rushing as well. So
yeah, they went out and got Deontay Johnson so they could bolster their passing game. They clearly thought they could be better at passing as well. Like, stop attacking us, bro.
No, just keep doing it, but center them more on Nate. Like, Nate's always wrong. Brian says, Google his Arena League picture. It looks like a 400-pound catfish. Okay, fine. I have to – how do you spell his name again really quick? Jared Lorenzen.
Bro, legit, like, I was out in my front yard, like, calling all-time quarterback because of this man. Like, he legit gave big people, like, I thought I could be out here at a skill position because of this man. There is a quarterback playing today. I've seen some videos on Instagram. Big old boy. We talking big, like 330, right? He's out here slinging it. And, Jared walked so the new guy can run. Well, he doesn't run much, but, like, he's giving the option to run because of it.
Steve said, yeah, Superman isn't better than Batman.
Next, Joe.
I agree, Stephen. He said he gave chubby kids a reason to dream for decades, which, that echoes what you were saying there. Brian says, stop talking about the Ravens. We're losing Ferguson on the Jared Lorenzen.
We got to talk about what's important. Everybody needs to know about Jared Lorenzen.
I did Google the pictures from the arena. Like, that's a big dude. Like, that looks like he should be hiking the ball, not throwing it. But
yeah, he's a large man. And it's hard to understand fully. Now, I know as a quarterback, you're not out there just like wind sprinting constantly. Like, even a lot of the quarterbacks now that you see, like, they talk about Patrick Mahomes and his dad bod and all that shit, right? It's not like you're out here like DK Metcalf. But the man was a professional athlete, but he looked more out of shape as a skill position player than like a lineman. Like, at least linemen are just like big and massive and can like bench press a truck. This dude literally, like, he just walked in straight out of Walmart and said, yo, give me the ball. Go run routes.
I mean, he had the skill to do it. So that is pretty cool. Would you have started him on in your team, Nate?
Fantasy?
Yeah, fantasy team. Would you have started him?
No.
What? He gave you the reason to dream, and you're just not going to start him.
Yeah. He gave me the reason to believe that you could be good in college if you tried real hard. Doesn't mean it, translates over to the NFL.
Oh man.
There's a documentary or something on him now, I believe, about his life, like post football, during football, and all that stuff. So I think this whole podcast is about to be about Jared Lorenzen, RIP, paying honors. But yeah, I mean, the dude did some crazy stuff. He was actually really good in college. He was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, he died of heart disease. Is that what it?
Yeah, because large man.
Yep.
He would make me look small, and I am not a small man. Oh my god.
Brian Barr says Tim Tebow and John Daly had a baby, he'd be Jared Lorenzo.
That is damn near spot on. I'm not gonna lie. If somebody said, Nate, if Tim Tebow and John Daly had a baby, who would it be? I would probably go to Jared Lorenzo. That's pretty damn good, BB. That's solid.
That's pretty great. Talking about the Patrick Mahomes dad bod thing there, like that reminds me of the meme I've been seeing like since that game where he just ran over the dude like to score the touchdown.
Just jacked, yeah.
Trucked him right at the line, and then it shows like the picture of Mahomes and the picture of him. Yeah. It's like the dude's just jagged, and Mahomes is like dad bod,
Also, no, fuck that. That's not a dad bod. We need to recalculate dad bod. That's bullshit. All right, no NFL player has a dad bod. I don't give a shit what you say.
Well, hold on. I'm finna Google this right now. Pat Mahomes dad bod. What? I mean, what would you consider a dad bod?
I don't know. Not that. It's bullshit.
I mean, he looks like he's still pretty built. Like you can see around his shoulders and arms and stuff like that. But
yeah, not that.
6'4", 285.
Yeah, I mean. Like that's a little heavier than I am. It's about an inch taller than I am, maybe an inch and a half, right? Like he would make me look like a small dude. I'm not a small dude.
If Tim Tebow has a deep thought, would that be a Christian Bonder? Wow,
that's an old one. That's an old one, baby. I've seen it before. You're recycling. Come on, we need the new stuff, the good stuff, the BB specials.
What is Travis Kelce's brother's name?
Jason
Kelce. Would you consider that a dad bod?
Pre or post weight loss?
Well, whatever. I don't know when he was playing.
I'm
not that up to date. I just remember him like when he was at the Chiefs game and he was like just ripped his shirt off, and like just having a blast.
I'm more comfortable with that being. I mean, granted, the dude can move a truck, right? Yeah. So like even as a dad bod, dude's like big as fuck. But yeah, I mean, I'm more okay with that than a quarterback. Yeah, I'm trying to lose weight to get into the dad bod arena, so I don't appreciate the marker being moved further down the field. All right, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be out here and be like, yeah, I'm a hefty dad bod. No, I get closer, they just move it. They just move it a little bit more.
I mean, I feel like that's probably going to be the case for the rest of anyone's life. But you're a handsome man, Nate. Like
I appreciate that.
You're beautiful the way you are.
You're too kind, Joe. Well, we have not talked a lot about fantasy.
Yeah, we have not talked about.
We have completely gotten sidetracked because we said somewhere along the way that the Ravens did not have the best all-time passing game. Like fucking Lamar is the new Tom Brady out there. I don't know where we fucked that up, but we did. Yeah. And then got sidetracked by the legend that is Jared Lorenzen.
But all great conversation. But let me see. Look, I am projected to win one of my leagues. Devontae Adams has already played and scored me 15 points in the standard league there. So feeling good about that. And then in my other league, let's see. I am projected to lose, but it's like 49% to 51%. So it's like right at it. 129.3 projected to 130 projected. But the team I'm playing is 1-7. So if I do lose to this team, I will feel really, really bad.
Yeah, but the thing about fantasy, any given week, though, right? Like, it doesn't matter. You could be 0-12 and win the next week.
Yeah, for sure. But it's not going to make me feel better if I lose.
True.
Stephen Evans says Nate's body type is dad bod plus.
Okay. We could have done with just 1+.
He said you're welcome. Hey, the more pluses, the better, Nate. Like, pluses are a good thing.
We ain't living in this world. When we're talking about sizes, dad bod plus is not the same as dad bod plus. I could be dad bod plus extra, but dad bod plus, that makes me feel larger than I am. And we have to address BB's comment, too. I'm not going to overlook that because we know it's a farce and we know it's bullshit, BB.
This one right here. Sorry, I had missed it. Brian says, while we were talking about old stuff, let me remind everyone that Nathan was an absolute train wreck at Fight 9 Round 3. So,
we know. We all know. And we've talked about this. I was a monster at Fight 9 Round 3. You calm down, sir.
I'm just going to throw out there that I don't have any proof of you being the monster at Fight Night Round 3, so I'm kind of inclined to lean
Joe,
on.
I think you've played enough video games with me at this point to believe me when I say I was pretty good at Fight Night Round 3.
Brian says lies. He's back. He's sticking to his guns. Oh, Brandon McCoy says Nathan's a terrible grinder too. Now I know for a fact that is false. Especially if it comes to Pokemon games, he will literally grind and hatch eggs for hours on end to get the perfect stats for a Pokemon. So that one I will back you up and say that is false.
That's right. He's talking about Arc, and to his defense, I'm not the best. I'm more of a delegate responsibilities kind of guy. But like most games, I'm pretty decent. So whatever, McCroy. Also, what up, McCroy?
He says monster size wise or skill wise?
Wait, skill wise and not size. All right, Steven. Welcome back to the podcast. I appreciate you watching, but this shade, it's like a fucking oak tree over there with all the shade you're throwing. Damn it, man.
I love it. I love it. And even threw back up the old Superman versus Batman that he started way back when we started this podcast.
I can't hear you, Joe. I'm not addressing any of that.
You're not addressing that?
I ain't jumping into that.
Brian says Nathan pays hundreds of dollars for his ultimate team. I know that is false because Nathan will not spend another dollar on a game that is to pay for up front. He is definitely not all about that.
Yeah. What up, guys? I am 10 toes down, stand on business, fucking constant. And that is one thing I stand on business with. If I pay for the game, you will not get an extra fucking dollar from me. I do not care. It will not happen. So I do not spend a dollar on cut, mutt, any of that. I don't do Fortnite fucking skins. I don't do any of those things.
Well, that's not fair because you don't pay for Fortnite.
Well, I don't care, Joe. I thought about it. You're right, 100%. I do think on free games you should support the developers some. However, I was thinking more COD than Fortnite, but I went Fortnite. COD technically, Warzone is free, but multiplayer is not, and you have to unlock and level guns, which is easier done in multiplayer than Warzone. So they put roadblocks in front of you to entice you to go and get multiplayer. Therefore, first off, COD is a fucking terrible game. The developers are fucking awesome. All of them, fuck COD. I don't want nothing to do with it.
So you did not buy Black Ops 6?
I did not. No, I will not. I did not, and I will not. Even if someone bought it for me, I wouldn't download it.
So I have the Game Pass, so I got it for free or whatever. So I've tried it a couple times. I'm just like, I'm not impressed. I'm just going to go back and play Fortnite.
Yeah. Legit, if someone bought it for me, I wouldn't even play it. It would not get installed on my computer.
Brian says, biased show, I see.
LaCroix. That's not true. We all know. Joe speaking truth, dropping truth bombs.
I will jump at the chance to throw shade on Nate, but I want it to be mostly true shade. I want it to be based on some kind of fact. Brian says he hides it well from me.
Bro, look, if there is one thing, like I will tell you where I'm at on whatever it is. And this is one thing I don't fuck around with.
Then Steve says ATN equals all people troll Nate. You know what? I like that.
I'm gonna remove you from this podcast, Steven.
So we are coming up on time. Does anyone out there watching have any more shade they want to throw at Nate before we end?
Guys, focus on fantasy football.
I know we far off from what we started talking about with fantasy football, but it's definitely been fun
for somebody.
For our viewers. Brad says the only true shade out there is when you stand behind Jared. It's
a lot of shade.
It's a lot of shade. But Nate, anything else you want to say before we end for the day?
I don't think so, man. I appreciate most of y'all hanging out, other than Steven. They're a lot for today. I'm just kidding. I appreciate you too, buddy. I hope y'all had a great Halloween. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and all that stuff. It's good to see like all the comments and everything. Thank y'all for stopping in. BB McCroy, Steven, the one dude that's comments up at the top, and I can't remember your name. I'm so sorry, but I appreciate you stopping in. All that stuff.
Yeah, I think it was Cody Landry.
Yeah, I know Cody's there. And
Chris Jarvis.
And Chris Jarvis. Yeah, Chris Jarvis. We appreciate you, man.
Yep. Shout out to everybody commenting. And even if you didn't comment, thanks for watching. I know some people will watch and just not comment, but thank you guys as well. We'll see y'all later.
See ya.